Today we are going to discuss about what efforts were made by the Brahminical society to consolidate the Varna system. Besides, we will be also talking about the division of the major castes into subcaste. This actually started taking place in the 6th century BC when subcaste also started coming up in different caste groups. The occupation based on Varna system was transformed into birth-based caste system during the 6th century BC onwards. And the Brahmins tried to consolidate the social system by adopting different types of strategies. Like the Brahmins stressed on the divine origin of the Varna system. They also encouraged the kings to see that the norms of the caste system were followed properly by the different caste groups. And they also started trying to impress on the rulers, on the kings, that it was their dharma to maintain the social order, to force the people to accept the social norms and act accordingly, and the social behavior should be according to that. Besides, it was also impressed on the masses by the Brahmins that the status in the society was ascertained by their birth. People were made to believe that they were born in a particular caste because of the will of the god, and it was also impressed that it was their actions. By their actions, they can in the next birth they can be born in higher caste if they follow the dharma. So different ways were adopted by the Brahmins to maintain the Brahminical system that was developed during that period of time. The rules and regulations that were codified in the Dharma Shastra was tried to be uh, followed, and the people uh, were tried to follow it so that the social norms could move on in the same way as the Brahmins wanted. So, first of all, they stressed on the divine origin of the Varna system, that so that no one has to say anything against it because it was of divine origin, and that is why the Purushukta and for that the Brahmins used the Purushukta, in which it was said that the different Varnas into which the society is divided came out from the different parts of the originator of the universe, the Prajapati. So that was the social norm, and this was also the basis of the development of the caste system. But with the passage of time, this Varna system became hereditary. Initially, it was just a basis on which people were divided on the basis of occupation, and that was based on their ability, their capability, and not by birth. But it got transformed into a system which was hereditary and that we call caste. So a hereditary social organization developed, and four major castes came up, which were identified earlier as Varnas, and these major castes got further divided into many subcastes. With the passage of time, trade and commerce developed, different types of economic activities came up, people started getting engaged in different types of economic activities, their professions changed, and also on the basis of religion, community, place where they lived, people started of different caste, they started known by different surnames, and also uh, as separate groups within this major caste groups. So Brahmins came to be identified by the Gotra, ancestor, the branch of Vedic learning, like you know about Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi. These are all what? These are the divisions of Brahmins on the basis of the knowledge of Ved. Those who knew uh, the three Veds, they were called Trivedi. Those who knew all the Veds, they were called Chaturvedi. Those who knew only two Veds, they were called Dvivedi. And from that, subcaste came up in the Brahmins also. In the Kshatriyas also, different subcaste came up. Many new castes were included into Kshatriya group who belonged to the warrior caste. So this led to the division of the major caste into subcaste. There were other causes also of the formation of the subcaste. For example, the intercaste marriages that used to take place in the royal families, the foreigners who were assimilated in the Kshatriya clan, who had established the kingdoms in different parts of our country, especially in the western part. So these were the basis. Besides, there were social transgression also. So though there was social norms, people were forced to a very great extent to accept the social norms and follow the social norms, and the social behavior should be according to the dharma shastras, but there were transgressions. When incidents like uh, a higher caste male used to marry a female of a lower caste, that also was in practice, and that to some extent, though it was not in much in practice, but it used to take place sometimes, and that was known as anuloma marriage. Besides, the opposite of that was pratiloma marriage, and the children of this such type of marriages, they used to be identified as a subcaste of the same major caste. So uh, the caste also started getting divided into subcaste, and these were some of the reasons which led to the formation of the subcastes uh, during the period that we are discussing, that is the 6th century BC onwards.